Two brand new angles in the Sidhu Moose Wala murder probe is our top focus on India First. It's day one of the Lawrence Bishnoi interrogation by the Punjab police. We have a full special crime report coming up right here. First, the headlines. Congress versus Delhi police on day 3 of Rahul Gandhi's questioning by the Enforcement Directorate. Congress accuses police of entering its party headquarters and beating up workers. The ED has summoned Rahul again on Friday. He gets the day off tomorrow. No consensus on a single candidate at a meeting called by Mamata Banerjee to decide on Kaun Banega Rashtrapati. Aam Aadmi Party and TRS skip the meet. Pawar says no thank you. Left proposes Gopal Gandhi, the Mahatma's grandson. Bengal teenager behind bars for opposing rioters. ABVP youth arrested in Coimbatore for backing Nupur Sharma. India Today puts the spotlight on young Indians jailed for speaking in support of Nupur Sharma. Kerala gold scam fallout simmers. BJP takes to the streets against Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan. Water cannons used against protesters. Accused Swapna Suresh defiant, says will not withdraw any statement. Goodbye Internet Explorer. Microsoft retires its iconic 27-year-old internet browser. Netizens get nostalgic. Microsoft Edge has replaced it. Lawrence Bishnoi is perhaps India's best-known gangster right now because he's been named mastermind in the killing of singer Sidhu Moose Wala. Well, the Salman Khan threat that runs parallel to the Moose Wala murder probe seems to be back to square one, however, because gangster Saurabh Mahakal, who is a part of the Lawrence Bishnoi gang and who was in touch with the Bishnoi gang, appears to have misled the police with information of 3 men who he says were actually threatening Salman Khan. But in truth, those 3 men who Mahakal has named were already in jail when the incident took place. So is there a larger conspiracy to fool the police on the Salman Khan threat probe? Take a look.
The Salman Khan death threat case took a bizarre turn on Wednesday, and it was Mumbai police which was left quite red-faced by the developments. Arrested gangster Saurabh Mahakal spilled the names of 3 gangsters to police who he said had threatened the Bollywood superstar. It was only later that Mumbai police realized it had been taken for a ride by Mahakal because all the 3 men named are already doing time in jail. Saurabh Mahakal claimed that the 3 men were from Rajasthan and worked in a factory in Palghar. Police, after visiting the factory in Palghar, found out that they were not employed there. In truth, the men named by the gangster were arrested for looting a jewelry shop in Rajasthan, Sirohi, and were behind bars much before the day Salman got the threat letter. Salman Khan and his father received death threats on June 5 in a letter left at Mumbai's Bandra bandstand. The threat letter said they would meet the same fate as singer Moose Wala. Lawrence Bishnoi, now established as the man who got Moose Wala murdered, is suspected to be behind the threat letter. He had threatened the actor in 2018 too.
जब हम करेंगे तो पता लग ही जाएगा सलमान खान का करेंगे मारेंगे ही जोधपुर में मारेंगे तो पता लग जाएगा इनको अभी तो मैंने कुछ किया ही नहीं बिना मतलब को इन्वॉल्व कर
But Mumbai police are yet to find out clinching evidence to nail Bishnoi, and Saurabh Mahakal appears to be doing everything to protect his associate Lawrence Bishnoi. Bureau Report, India Today.
We reported to you yesterday the Punjab police has finally got custody of Lawrence Bishnoi for 7 days. Today happened to be day 1. The gangster has been given top-notch security, citing a threat to his life. Will he spill the beans about Sidhu Moose Wala's murder? Will he spill the beans about the Salman Khan threat? Or is he going to basically give the police a big runaround? They've got 7 days to try and tie this up. Take a look. A bulletproof car, 100 policemen standing guard, and heavily armed commandos. This is the top-notch level of security for the grilling of dreaded gangster and suspected mastermind of the Sidhu Moose Wala murder. Gangster Lawrence Bishnoi being grilled by Special Investigation Team and Anti-Gangster Task Force personnel after the Punjab police got his custody for 7 days.
This gangster who was brought on one-day transit remand, he was produced in the Mansa court which remanded him to police custody. The gangster during the Delhi police questioning has not confessed that he is behind Sidhu Moose Wala's murder conspiracy.
किस तरह की सिक्योरिटी है, क्या कमांडो है? कर सकते हैं, बिल्कुल सिक्योरिटी की इसके लिए जो है सफिशिएंट सिक्योरिटी हम कर रहे हैं, उसमें कमांडो भी है, उसमें लोकल है, उसमें हमारी जो पैरामिलिट्री है वो भी है.
India Today had earlier tracked the gangsters' high security convoy.
ये सारी चीजें जल्दी पंजाब पुलिस ने इसलिए की क्योंकि एक तो ये गाड़ियों का काफिला काफी लंबा है. पंजाब पुलिस की अपनी 12 से 15 गाड़ियां हैं. इसके अलावा लोकल जिस जगह से ये गुजर रहे हैं वहां की लोकल एस्कॉर्ट इन्हें मिल रहा है और 50 से ज्यादा सुरक्षा कर्मी है.
The Punjab police are trying to unravel the Moose Wala murder plot and trace the Lawrence Bishnoi gang's sharpshooters who actually pulled the trigger in Mansa, Punjab. The death threat letter to Salman Khan may also come up for probe.
बिश्नोई, सलमान खान को आपने धमकी दिलवाई हैं? सिद्धू मूसे वाला मरवाया?
India Today's Arvind Ojha is the only crime reporter to confront Lawrence Bishnoi, asking him about his crimes.
बिश्नोई, कुछ बोलना है?
Lawrence Bishnoi is being grilled over gang rivalry and the weapon used by the killers of Moose Wala. The Punjab police have revealed to India Today that the gangster, so far, is not cooperating. With Manjeet Sehgal, Arvind Ojha and Himanshu Mishra in Mohali, Bureau Report, India Today. And joining me live from Chandigarh tonight is Arvind Ojha, the only crime reporter in the country who has confronted Lawrence Bishnoi up front, up close. No other crime reporter has done that. Arvind, आपके सोर्सेज के मुताबिक ये डे 1 का जो इंटेरोगेशन हुआ है लॉरेंस बिश्नोई का, उससे क्या निकल आया है? हमको अपडेट करना कि क्या एग्जैक्टली निकल आया है डे 1 ऑफ द इंटेरोगेशन से.
देखिए शिव, मैं आपको बताऊं कि जो इंटरोगेशन हुई है लॉरेंस बिश्नोई की, उसमें लॉरेंस बिश्नोई ने फिलहाल पंजाब पुलिस के इंटरोगेशन में बहुत कोऑपरेट नहीं किया है. उसके अलावा जिस तरह से इंडिया टुडे ने कन्फ्रंट किया था और जो रिएक्शन लॉरेंस बिश्नोई का था उस वक्त, सेम जो एक्सप्रेशन है, उसका जो रिएक्शन है वो फिलहाल इंटरोगेशन में है. वो काफी कम बोल रहा है और ये दिल्ली पुलिस के सोर्सेस ने भी बताया था कि वो काफी कम बोल रहा है. लेकिन उससे जब लगातार इंटरोगेशन हुई और खासकर सिद्धू मूसे वाला के मर्डर के बारे में जब उससे पूछा गया तो वो यही बोल रहा है कि वो जेल में था और उसके पास मोबाइल फोन नहीं था. लेकिन ये जरूर बोल रहा है कि उसने सिद्धू मूसा वाले को मारने के लिए न सिर्फ गोल्डी बरार से बात की थी बल्कि अपने कई गैंग मेंबर से बात की थी. लेकिन शूटर्स कौन है इसके बारे में उसे जानकारी नहीं है. लेकिन इधर जो पंजाब गवर्नमेंट ने एसआईटी फॉर्म की है सिद्धू मूसेवाला का मर्डर का इन्वेस्टिगेशन के लिए, वो एसआईटी की टीम, उसके अलावा एंटी गैंगस्टर टास्क फोर्स के जो सीनियर ऑफिशियल थे वो उससे पूछताछ कर रहे थे. 7 दिन की कस्टडी है. पंजाब पुलिस की कोशिश यही है कि इंटरोगेशन में लॉरेंस बिश्नोई को, जो एक वेल एजुकेटेड गैंगस्टर है, एलएलबी का कोर्स किया उसने, उसे तमाम वो कानूनी दांवपेच मालूम है. कोशिश पंजाब पुलिस की है कि 7 दिन में उसे इंटरोगेशन के दौरान तोड़ा जाए और जो रियल कॉन्स्पिरेसी है, डीप रूटेड कॉन्स्पिरेसी है सिद्धू मूसावाला के मर्डर की, वो उसका खुलासा लॉरेंस बिश्नोई से करवाया जाए.
Arvind Ojha, thank you very much for speaking to us on that. The only journalist who has so far spoken directly to Lawrence Bishnoi, his information, his access, unparalleled on this big story. The day Lawrence Bishnoi was declared as mastermind behind the murder of Sidhu Moose Wala, I spoke exclusively to Delhi Police Special Cell Commissioner H.S. Dhaliwal. Here's what he told me on that day, and listen very carefully because this matters hugely to what Lawrence Bishnoi is being interrogated about right now by the Punjab police. Listen into this. So Dhaliwal, if you could throw some light, I know that a large part of this case has to be kept privileged because it's an ongoing investigation, sir. But, there's been a huge amount of curiosity about why Sidhu Moose Wala himself was targeted in this manner? Because, people know him to be a Punjabi superstar, singer, not a gangster as such. But, there are reports, we've also been reporting about the whole revenge angle, his manager who is sitting in Australia. Can you throw some light on that, sir? What did Lawrence Bishnoi say about the motive behind this killing? Why was Sidhu Moose Wala targeted, sir?
See, it will be very unfair for us to, comment, beyond what our role is expected to be at this instance. We have a lot of inputs, we have a lot of information, but it will not be fair for us to comment on this one. But I can tell you our target is to bring the killers to justice as soon as possible and help the main agency which is investigating this case, that is Punjab Police. All these people will eventually be handed over, and we are just trying to ensure that we contribute our bit to bring these people to justice.
What is Lawrence Bishnoi's state of mind like, sir? It's very valuable for us to be speaking to someone like you who's come out and declared that he's the mastermind. What is his state of mind like in Tihar in the wake of this crime that you have said that he is the mastermind of, he's the one who ordered it, sir?
See, state of mind, we can't really comment on this one. But he's not in Tihar, he's in police custody remand with special cell. And that remand at the moment is till Friday. And of course, Punjab Police will also be, taking him on a police custody remand whenever they, want to have it. So at the moment, I can't really comment on his mental state. Our focus is not to really look at somebody's mental state, but to try to see if we can get the people who are involved in actual killing as soon as possible.
Lawrence Bishnoi has become India's most well-known gangster at this time, owing to the Sidhu Moose Wala murder in which he's been declared a mastermind. He's got high security as he's interrogated in Punjab for the next 1 week. But this is a gangster who's got a lot of things that he's actually well known for. Let's just take you through some of those things because they're important regarding what comes up. This year, the mastermind behind the Moose Wala murder is what has made him a household name. He's the suspect behind Salman Khan's threat letter because he had once, remember, threatened Salman Khan. This was in 2018 over the Black Buck shooting case. Then in 2014, the Lawrence Bishnoi gang killed a friend's rival who was contesting the Ludhiana election. That also became a big local story at that time. 12 years ago in 2010, Lawrence Bishnoi lost the Punjab University polls and assaulted the winning candidate. That's like among the first time when young Lawrence Bishnoi, real name Balkaran Barar, came into the local media, got into something of a life of crime, and then the rest, as they say, is gangster history. Here he is named the main accused in the killing of Sidhu Moose Wala. Now, to solve the Sidhu Moose Wala murder, investigators from 3 states are probing the case: Delhi, Punjab and Maharashtra. Lawrence Bishnoi, remember, is no small potatoes. He's a man with a 700-member gang, a dreaded gangster with connections even in Canada. Goldie Brar, remember? This is Lawrence Bishnoi. Here's a report that gives you a glimpse of the gang that has terrorized large parts of North India. And this is an exclusive report with information you will hear nowhere else. This is Lawrence Bishnoi.
A gang that has terrorized much of North India, operating stealthily even from top central jails. A gang that has claimed the brazen daylight murder of Punjabi rapper Sidhu Moose Wala. And now for the first time, the dreaded Lawrence Bishnoi gang is on television. Exclusive images of the Bishnoi gang being paraded by the Delhi Police Special Cell in 2021 after taking them into police remand under the Maharashtra Control of Organized Crime Act, Makoka. Bishnoi is seen wearing a black t-shirt, green shoes and close-cropped hair. Rajasthan gangster Sampat Nehra, who once carried out a reconnaissance of actor Salman Khan's house, can also be seen in these images accessed exclusively by India Today. The other gangster in these images are Jaggu Bhagwanpuria and Haryana's Kali Rajput and Raju Basodi. 30-year-old Lawrence Bishnoi, the son of a former police officer, is a law graduate. He met Goldie Brar in 2009 during his stint in Punjab University. The two rapidly rose in the world of crime after fighting for supremacy in university politics and a series of ruthless murders. When Goldie Brar fled to Canada, Bishnoi kept running the crime empire from Tihar Central Jail. Anybody who owed allegiance to rival gangs or stood against the Bishnoi gang was neutralized, like pop star Sidhu Moose Wala. The Bishnoi gang allegedly wanted to avenge the murder of Akali Dal leader Vicky Sidhu Kheda in August 2021. Since Shaganpreet Singh, the manager of Moose Wala, was named as a key plotter in the murder case, Moose Wala came on the radar of the Bishnoi gang. Moose Wala was also close to slain gangster Vicky Gounder, a bitter rival of the Bishnoi gang. While Shaganpreet fled to Australia, Moose Wala couldn't escape the wrath of the Bishnoi gang. With Arvind Ojha, Bureau Report, India Today.
And this entire crime has put the spotlight not just, of course, on Lawrence Bishnoi, who's being interrogated, but the other gangs of Punjab. Moose Wala's family and friends have confirmed that the singer was getting threats from multiple gangsters, multiple gangs. And at the center of the gang war is Lawrence Bishnoi. Currently, he is being interrogated by the Punjab police and will be over the next 6 days. He's the prime suspect in the murder, but he's not the only one. We now decode the gang rivalry that could have played a part in killing Sidhu Moose Wala.
May, Jawar ke village, Mansa, Punjab. While glorifying the guns and gangster culture in his songs, Sidhu Moose Wala would have never imagined that one day he would fall prey to gangsters himself. Sources say before Sidhu Moose Wala was killed, he'd received a call from the gangsters advising him to mend his ways. But Moose Wala had ignored the threats, saying he too was equipped with weapons.
इनके जो एक मैनेजर हैं शगनप्रीत, इनका नाम आया था जो विक्की मिड्डू खेड़ा वाले मर्डर केस में। लॉरेंस बिश्नोई गैंग का इसमें हाथ है और इसकी जिम्मेदारी जो है वो लकी उन्होंने ले ली है उनकी गैंग पे।
A gang war that spread across Punjab, Delhi's Tihar jail and across 7 seas to Canada. At the center of this gang war is this group of men led by Lawrence Bishnoi. Lawrence Bishnoi, prime suspect. Lawrence Bishnoi is currently lodged in the high security ward of Tihar Central Jail. A resident of Firozpur, his gang is active in Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, Delhi and Uttar Pradesh. Professional shooters are also a part of Bishnoi's gang. Kala Jathedi, Bishnoi's crime partner. Lawrence Bishnoi's partner in crime is Sandeep alias Kala Jathedi, Delhi's most wanted gangster who carried a reward of 7 lakh rupees when he was arrested in July last year. Apart from Delhi police, Jathedi was wanted by Haryana, Rajasthan and Punjab police for his alleged involvement in several cases of murder, extortion and other heinous crimes. Jathedi's name also came up following the Chhatrasal Stadium assault and murder, in which two-time Olympic medalist and world champion wrestler Sushil Kumar was arrested. Sushil Kumar was associated with Jathedi, but the two fell out. Vicky Midhukheda, Bishnoi aide, shot dead in August 2021. The trigger for Sidhu Moose Wala's killing was allegedly the murder of Vicky Midhukheda. Vicky was also a big name in the Punjabi music industry and was shot dead in August last year. Moose Wala's manager, Shaganpreet's name had figured in that murder. Goldie Brar, gangster, currently in Canada. Goldie Brar, a close aide of Lawrence Bishnoi, currently in Canada, has also claimed responsibility for Moose Wala's murder. Goldie has also claimed that apart from Vicky Midhukheda's killing, Sidhu Moose Wala was also behind the murder of his brother Gurlal Brar, but has survived on the strength of his contacts and influence. The Bishnoi gang has taken responsibility for murdering Sidhu Moose Wala, claiming that Vicky Midhukheda was their brother and they have now avenged his death. With Manjeet Sehgal in Chandigarh, Bureau Report, India Today.
Well, the Lawrence Bishnoi investigation and interrogation is going to continue over the next few days. India Today will continue to be on top of it. Remember, we're the channel that named the Bishnoi gang first in connection with the murder of Sidhu Moose Wala. That's it on India First. Same time tomorrow.